Looks like someone filled Sony in on what's hot right now. Norse mythology is old news, man. Now everyone's into Greek myth again, which promptly led to the recent announcement of Blue Point Games getting shut down. I mean, 2 new God of War games. Yep, that's all we're here to announce. Nothing else. So at the end of Sony's State of Play, they announced the first 3 God of War games are getting full-blown remakes, which only had a title reveal, so expect that in like 3 years at least. But they also shadow dropped a new 2D pixel art God of War game, set before the original games following a young Kratos. Look, I like shadow drops. They're fun and make for a nice surprise, but they also completely mess up my schedule. Anyway, Santa Monica is busy with the remake, so who's making this? Well, it's Mega Cat Studios. Oh, that sounds like... Wait, the FNAF Into the Pit guys? I had to do a double take when I saw that pop up in the showcase. I mean, how did they get a God of War game? I don't mean for any of that to sound disheartening. In fact, the complete opposite. In the same State of Play, they announced a new Castlevania game from the Dead Cells devs, who previously did a Prince of Persia game, so indie developers getting their hands on a AAA IP is becoming more of a thing, and it's something I wholeheartedly support. The indie scene already consistently trumps AAA, so why not give them some big names? Which is where I have to add a giant asterisk, because while I did enjoy parts of God of War Sparta, there are some big prevailing issues the game has, which left me feeling more negative towards it, so let's get into what I mean by that. The story follows Kratos, before he was all death to Olympus and all who reside, who tells a story to his currently alive daughter Calliope about when he was younger training with his brother Deimos. One of their fellow Spartans, Vasilis, has gone missing, and so Kratos and Deimos have to track him down by playing a 2D Metroidvania. The main gameplay is semi-Souls-like, in the sense that it feels like a Souls-like, but it's missing a lot of the core features. You don't have to go to the place you died, and there's no stamina, but you've got your usual dodge and parry, and there are bonfires you save at that respawn all enemies. The gameplay itself is serviceable enough, even if Kratos can feel a little slippery at times, probably due to the inability to use the D-pad for a 2D game. The 8th deadly sin. But the combat has some nice depth, and the enemies' attacks are made easy to read thanks to the beautiful pixel art. And the giant glowing outline around enemies that screams, "I'm attacking you now! Here I go! This is me attacking!" And then there's the voice acting. Yeah, this game has voice acting, which I really didn't expect it to have, but in all honesty, I kinda wish it didn't. That's not to say that the actors don't do a good job. They all do exactly what they need to do, and hearing the old Kratos actor again was nice. But it is jarring going from hearing the silky smooth voice of T.C. Carson, only for the gameplay to start back up and remember, oh yeah, I'm stuck with little whiny Kratos. Backtracking is also way too prevalent here. I know Metroidvanias all have a little backtracking, but this is just too much, and it's not fun either. It feels like if the ending section of Metroid Prime kept popping up throughout the course of the entire game. And then something happened that just really soured the whole game for me. Minor spoiler coming up. I was pretty mixed on this game up until now, but after this, that quickly changed. See, I didn't beat this game. I know, get out your pitchforks, but the truth is, I really wanted to beat this game. But then I got to what I thought was the final boss, this big icon of sin looking guy, and noticed that Deimos, who's supposed to help you in boss fights, was standing completely still, not moving or attacking or anything. Now, this wasn't new. There were some other bosses that Deimos froze at before this, but I was able to power through them by myself. This guy, I just couldn't brute force like I did the others. I thought of getting the Duke to control him for this fight, only to find out there's no co-op for the campaign. It's only for challenges that you unlock afterwards. So I just looked the ending up on YouTube. I must have been pretty close to the end, I thought to myself, only to watch the video and find out that there was a whole other section and boss fight after that. So yeah, I walked away from this game on a pretty negative note. But you know what? No. How did that bug get past testing? How didn't anyone testing the boss fights notice Deimos sitting in a corner picking his nose instead of helping? Overall, I like what God of War Sons of Sparta represents rather than what it is, because what it is a mediocre Metroidvania with some pretty looking artwork. Like I said, I'm 100% on board with giving indie studios AAA IPs. I just, want what comes out of that collaboration to be good. That's all I got for now. The next review should be High on Life 2, so if you're interested in that, then be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. And if you've played God of War Sons of Sparta, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Okay. That's it. Bye.